What role does sport continue to play in your life today?
Well, it was a very, very important part of my life. And for me, the feeling I have now in skiing is much better than I had 60 years ago. And let me just talk a little bit about the 50s, because in the 50s, the sporting goods business was very different from what it is in the 60s. In the 50s, there was a shortage of products. It was a time after World War II. The consumers were not consuming as much. This changed dramatically in the 60s because suddenly there were more products on the market. So the traditional small and mid-sized sporting goods dealers, they shrank. And in 66, these national, I call them buying organizations, they became aware that it's not only in Germany, France, and Scandinavia. They spoke with each other, and the idea came up to create an international organization. IIC was founded in 68, and the 60s, that was a very special decade, so sports started really to boom.
We have three pillars which are defining INTERSPORT today. The first one is that we are really a global company. We are having a turnover of 14 billion euro. We are present in 42 countries and we have almost 5,400 stores. The next pillar is that at the same time we are hyperlocal. Most of our INTERSPORT stores, they are independently owned by some local entrepreneur, and this is great because, each store is able to perfectly answer the local consumer needs. And the last pillar that we are having, the third one, is that we are multi-format. So we are offering 5 different store formats and typology. And for instance, today we are in a ski resort, and this is part of our category specialist concept. Here we are today in the Grünenwald store, and it's a perfect example of a hyperlocal approach. So this store has developed rental services and really tailored product assortment. So here, for instance, you have a lot of racing skis because the ski level here is very good. So this really hyperlocal approach here is showing us that we are able to meet the local consumer need. This is true here, but it's also, everywhere in each and every store of INTERSPORT.
Mein Vater hat ein Sportgeschäft geführt, das mich sehr früh zu den Produkten und den Servicen und Dienstleistungen gebracht hat. Unsere Kundschaft ist international. Der Riesenvorteil für die Kunden, sie können es günstig mieten, sie haben immer ein neues Produkt und durch unsere Filialen müssen sie das Material nicht transportieren. Das Mieten ist mittlerweile ein sehr nachhaltiger Trend geworden, weil das Produkt wird geteilt.
We at INTERSPORT, we are servicing the equipment always between two consumer usage. And a very good consumer benefit is that it's really affordable because this is based on share economy, which is making at the end of the day the price for the final consumer much more attractive. And it's really coming from our very specific business model. Very specific because we are global and hyperlocal at the same time. We are working with all the big sporting goods brands, and this is super inspiring. And each season we are seeing the latest collection, the latest innovation, and this is always super exciting. And so we are combining the assets of having, the strengths, the process, the strategy of a big global company, and at the same time, the pragmatism, the fighting spirit, really, from our local entrepreneur, which are in their store, who are willing to develop their business on a daily basis. And this is also the case, of course, for other categories. For instance, you can have some specialist stores in running, in training, in outdoor, in football, at different parts, in other cities or countries. And in addition, in the way we are working really in a bottom-up approach. So our local entrepreneurs are really at the heart of our business. If I really let my heart speaking, INTERSPORT for me is about being locally connected, What I really love with INTERSPORT is the human touch, and I think it's what also describes best INTERSPORT. You know, each store has a local owner, a local entrepreneur, who is anchored in the local community. And this is really making a big difference, and we feel it also at all levels of the company.